Hello guys, it's 899 here and welcome to NRL Round 17 tips and predictions. Man, this season's just going very quickly, but it's also a very quick round. Only 4 matches, very abridged obviously, for the decider Origin match on the following Wednesday. So without further ado, let's just jump into it. So the first match on Thursday is of course the Cronulla Sharks up against the Melbourne Storm. 4th place against 2nd, it should be a very good match. So last week the Sharks did end up getting a win against the Bulldogs. I thought it was going to be a very gritty match, and it kind of was, very similar to the Sharks' previous match against the Titans. Coincidentally enough, both matches featured Matt Moylan scoring. That's pretty cool. And yeah, the Melbourne Storm last week, who did lose to the Manly Sea Eagles, but the Sea Eagles were trying to not win that game in the last 10 minutes, like bloody hell, They really tried to not win that game. But obviously being at Shark Park, I mean, it really just depends on what kind of players are going to get selected, because obviously a bunch of these players are going to get selected for Origin sake, so you don't really know which ones are actually going to be playing this weekend. So I don't know, I'm probably going to try to stick safe with Melbourne, but to be completely honest, I definitely do see Cronulla also coming up in this, so I'll stick with Melbourne. But yeah, so it'll be close, but I think Melbourne should just edge them out. Now we go to the Friday night game. Yes, only one of them, and it is at Newcastle. It is the Newcastle Knights up against the South Sydney Rabbitohs, which has basically started to turn into now, for some reason, the Knights are still somewhat possible in reaching the finals. Obviously, you need a lot of stuff to occur for the Knights to make it. You need a bunch of teams to just bottle the back end of the season, but it is still relatively possible. It's not mathematically impossible, so there is always a chance. Obviously, the Knights had a solid win against the Titans. I mean, the second half was a bit shaky, but they did end up getting the win. Edric Lee scoring 5 tries. 4 probably only 4 of them were probably legitimate. Dominic Young got 3 tries. It's a very good win. South Sydney did get a bit of a grubby win. Not in terms of South Sydney played like grubs, but just the weather conditions were absolute horrid in Sydney. So they did get a win against Parramatta. So I feel like this game is it's depending on how the weather's going to be, because it's probably going to be pretty crap. I feel like Souths might just edge it out, because I think they do play a bit better in the wet than the Knights do. So I'm going to tip South Sydney to win, South Sydney to win. Basically, I did the same thing with the Titans and the Knights won. So that's basically my mental strategy. Now we go on to the Saturday game, and it is the West Tigers up against the Parramatta Eels at Leichhardt. That is probably the worst thing they've done. Obviously, I know the Tigers do play at CommBank, which is also Parramatta's home ground. But, you're seeing the amount of rain that's about to just absolutely bombard New South Wales. And you want to host it at Leichhardt, where the last game is basically the hill turned into an absolute mudscape. Each their own, I guess. Obviously, the Tigers had to play against the Warriors over in New Zealand, and obviously New Zealand held them to not even scoring a try. Parramatta also had a bit of a dodgy match against the Rabbitohs. Just really couldn't do much, unfortunately, for Parramatta's sake. With this game, it's I don't know. I do feel Parramatta will win this match, but I mean, obviously last time these two teams met, the Tigers did beat them. And I think it was actually their first win. Or was their second? I think it was their first win was against Parramatta, the Tigers, I believe. So yeah, I do think the Parramatta will win this match, but I mean, to be fair, Tigers do definitely have a shot in this. And now we go into the final game of the round. It's on Sunday, 4 PM. It is the Brisbane Broncos up against the St George Illawarra Dragons. St George currently at the moment are very much basically the dark horse at the moment for the finals. They're very much trying to solidify themselves into the top 8, and a win against Brisbane in Suncorp will very much do that for them. Obviously, Brisbane in the top 4 are coming off a loss against the Cowboys. And again, you've got to also take into account about how teams are going to have players out potentially due to Origin. Brisbane's going to have probably a lot of them, but I do think Brisbane will be able to hang on and claim a win, though Dragons might definitely pull up in a good game. But yeah, I think it's pretty much playing it safe this round, basically, because I'm a pussy. But anyways, that is the end of the round 17 predictions. Who do you guys have this round? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all later.